going on, Dreamstarters? Doing another little Facebook Live for you guys to explain how to generate the most leads with media exposure. See if I'm doing this okay. We got the, last time my head was cut off, so we got the iPad set up this time. People were asking me, okay, when you go on the radio or if you get invited to do a podcast, how do you generate the most leads with that? What is the greatest return on investment? How do I promote my book or my service in the best way? See if everything's working. If everything's working all right, just give me a 1 or 2. If you can't hear me, let me know. And if you have any questions or comments, comment it below. What we're going to be going over is how to generate most leads with media exposure. For example, I was invited to be on a radio station last week in San Antonio, Texas, the Lisa Lewis Show. Very exciting, business magnet, putting on a big event in Houston, Texas next year with Gary Vaynerchuk. And if I do sponsor it, I might be able to share the stage with him. Costs quite a bit of money, but it could be such a huge boost being on the stage with Gary Vaynerchuk. If you guys have any questions, let me know below. But number 1, how in the hell do you get media exposure? How do you get people to invite you on for the podcasts, radio, TV, YouTube, different interviews? I do interviews with authors and entrepreneurs. Try to do it like 3 or 4 times a week. But the reason why I interview them is because they all have a book. So number 1, how do you get media exposure? Have something to promote. Number 1, have a book. It's pretty simple. That's my business. I help people write books in 30 days or less, bring it to market, promote it in the right channels, turn it into a bestseller, and then show people how to use it as a marketing tool to generate leads, get a credibility, establish leverage. The works. Anybody have any questions down there? Thanks so much, Jamie. I appreciate the like. If you have any questions, let me know. I know that you're a DJ and you're trying to get out there and promote yourself, and it looks like you're very active, so it's awesome to see. Number 2, have a hook. When you get on a podcast or even just a simple YouTube video or a FaceTime live, something that gets you in front of 1, 2, 10, 100, 1,000 people, whatever it is, have some type of hook. What do I mean by that? People come on and they promote their books in a certain way. And what they'll say is go to www. And for example, my website is called dreamstartersuniversity.com. Oh, everybody go back to dreamstartersuniversity.com and check out everything that I have. Well, in all honesty, I believe that you could do a little bit better than that. And I did this with the Lisa Lewis Show. And I did this to show people what you should do to generate real leads. And also to see where you should spend the rest of your time. Let's see here. Looks like you just commented. Thank you. Should do to generate real. What's up, Charlie Moore? And also, let's see if I can. Where you should spend the rest of your time. I appreciate it. Charlie Moore, I cannot wait to work with you. You have such an incredible story. You've been doing all kinds of different things with boats, and you have your own business. It looks like you're 5, 6 different businesses deep. So I cannot wait to work with you and your partner. I know that we are working together and networking, and there's another guy that you're talking about. I believe his name is Brian. So I'm looking forward to that. Lisa Lewis, there she is. The one girl who helped me out get in front of more people in San Antonio. I have a couple clients in Texas, and I'd like to get more because I love that area, and I want to visit soon. So shout out to Lloyd Williams, April Ray McWilliams. I cannot wait for your book to come out. But Lloyd Williams' book's Table of Dreams is out on the market. Big Kioni guy. If you're into Kioni, you probably have heard of Lloyd Williams. So great to see you. Charlie Moore, I cannot wait, man. Kyle Reed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. But what I want to show you here is you need to have something to promote. Lisa, I'm sure you can attest to this. Some type of hook. Don't just do dreamstarters.com. That's bad. You'll never know where your people are coming in from, or where you should really spend your energy, or really where you should promote, or who's really your allies out there. What you should do is maybe create affiliates, or when you do promotions with, let's just say you come on my interview show, it's me just interviewing authors and hearing their stories. But if you came on, you should say something along the lines of maybe dreamstartersuniversity.com/Mike, or give an example, TV. If you went on the TV channel or a news channel or some way to be in front of people on TV, you want to see how many people are coming to your website because of the TV appearance, just because of it, and they only saw it on TV. Or /radio, /podcast. But you want to be specific. For example, with Lisa, I said Lisa, #Lisa, but I was giving a free copy of my book away if they went to that domain address and subpage. And what that does is, let's just say I get a sudden rush of people go into that website address, dreamstartersuniversity.com/Lisa, and I see a sudden rush of tons of people coming in. Number one, I know that I'll do whatever it takes to get back on Lisa's show. And then number two, maybe I set up some type of an incentive or a referral program or some type of a bonus for whoever puts me on that show in front of that correct audience, that sudden rush of people. I'm going to give them money every time I close a deal. Or even just I could pay per referral. You could pay per referral or pay per sale. I believe in paying per sale because I don't care about the number if it's not really good leads. So, if a ton of people comes rushing in and leads to a ton of money, I'm going to go back to Lisa and I'm going to say, Lisa, my appearance on your show has led to X amount of dollars this month. What I'll do is if you bring me more people, if you put me on your show, I will give you X amount of dollars per sale that comes through that portal. And it's basically like funnels. Multiple funnels working together as in one giant funnel. Now, I'm not a big advocate of just jumping right into lead pages or ClickFunnels or some type of program you have to pay a lot of money until you have it all set up. I'm a big believer in creating everything on your own with as little money as possible, no monthly fees, until you have it to a point where A, money's coming in, and B, you can't handle it whatsoever on your own. I am an author of a best-selling book with Dreamstarters with Mike Fallat, Readers are Leaders, Amazon. Thank you. Kristen Damian, what's going on? Will Merchant, thanks so much for joining. I appreciate it there, Lisa. Anyway, the hook is you giving something back to their listeners or their viewers. So there's a reason for them to pay attention to you on the radio, or on the podcast, or on TV for that one specific time, which could be time sensitive. Urgency always promotes sales. So you could have it as a time sensitive event where basically after tomorrow this book will not be there. After tomorrow this special will not be available. After next week this sale will go away unless you go to this website. So make sure you sign up for the webinar, the seminar, the book, the service in a time-oriented fashion. So the hook. And I always talk about being valuable to valuable people. These podcasters, these people who can reach thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of people, they technically are really valuable to you. And I believe that if you create a business in every shape and form that you are valuable to valuable people, you're going to go far. Which is, you're not just valuable to clients who try hard and do big things, but also to business partners and also affiliates. So be valuable to valuable people and figure out a way to incentivize and reward people who help you out if you help them out. And number 3, anybody have any questions? I think this is a little bit more of a better setup here now that I can see what in the hell I look like on camera. But if you guys have any questions about a book, which really is one of the ultimate ways of promoting yourself. I consider it the ultimate business card, the ultimate connector of dots. You build relationships up, and how do you do that? By conveying your story, showing that you care more than other people. Today I was just talking to a stunt man from Australia, went to Los Angeles, and now he lives in Atlanta. He's a stuntman for a bunch of different movies and TV shows. And he wrote a book called The Stuntman's Guide to Learning Anything. It's pretty incredible. So check that on Amazon. We might be working together on his next book. I really hope so, because the guy has an incredible story. Anyway, what he does is he promotes himself to different events and organizations with his book to get speaking gigs, to build his brand up. And I told him on the video today, you should be using that book to help close deals, to get into meetings with directors and producers, because if they see you're that committed, you're going to stand above the rest. Kurt Smolik, Lisa, thank you very much, Lisa. Forrest Smith, I appreciate it. And so the stuntman, if he promotes himself in a certain way, guess what? The producer or the director, whoever's doing the hiring, who are they going to hire? The guy who wrote a book on being a stuntman and cares more and shows that he's a speaker and an author and a best-selling author, and he's out there doing a bunch of things? Or is he going to hire that other guy who basically is just a stuntman and he doesn't really care too much? If he doesn't care enough to put himself on a website or put himself in a book or promote himself in a certain way, then why would he want to hire him? Now, there's probably a lot of politics and connections regarding Hollywood and different places and, getting hired as a stuntman or even an actor or an actress. But what you got to do is differentiate yourself in any which way. You got to promote yourself as much as you can, whenever you can. Facebook Live is an unbelievable way to promote yourself. You get out there, you take this video, you take the URL, you send it to, you can actually download it directly, put it on YouTube, promote it that way, take that, break it up into chops, put them out into Instagram in 30-second bits, take that up, break it up, put it out into Snapchat, if that's your target market. It's all about promoting yourself constantly and efficiently. I think the book is the number one way to do that, to differentiate yourself, because it means that you care about something enough to write about it. 2, the hook, which basically means, hey, listen to me while I'm on this podcast, this radio channel, whatever it is, just for this 15 minutes, half hour, or an hour, because I'm going to give you something for it. It's a reward. You're incentivizing people to stay tuned, but you're also rewarding and incentivizing their listeners to keep listening and watching their Facebook Live, their podcast, the YouTube, whatever it is. And then, the following thing is that a back-end way of building relationships. That's really terrible writing. I apologize. Let's see if anybody can. If you guys have any questions, please comment it below. Let me know. Anybody? Kyle Reed, nice book collection. I like this Kyle guy. I appreciate it, man. All these right here, first editions, I think. Pretty sure they're first editions. Thanks a lot, man. Horrible writing. Hey, Mike, come on, man. I don't write. I'm a computer guy now. Back-end way of building relationships. Can you read that now, Mike? Anyway, book, hook, build relationships, if that's easy enough for you. What your goal is basically once you're able to have some type of hook where people are in now your quote-unquote funnel. I hate saying that because it's such a generalized term. People who are ClickFunnels experts, they just think by having a funnel makes you an expert or a business owner. Or doesn't. It's just another tool that you can use. And when you have a way to collect leads, emails, addresses, any which way to reach out, Instagram handles, whatever it is, phone numbers even, what are you going to do with it? What I do is I try to connect the dots as much as possible, as often as possible. I send out emails 3 to 4 times per week, as much as I can, really. Sometimes even 5 times a week. But it just shows that I'm active, I'm out there. If you have any questions, I'm here. And I don't like going directly one-on-one, sending out emails directly, because it's a waste of my time. If I can send out one email that I spend a lot of time on and spelling out to about 5,000 people, the right ones are going to say, you know what, this guy might have something that he might be able to help me with my book. He's active. He's promoting himself. And then if I do reach out to him on Facebook or Instagram, which is my 2 top lead generators, then it's basically one more step into the rapport building. I'm able to say, hey, now I have your email. Let's connect on Facebook. Let's connect on Instagram. And if you hit these people in multiple ways, then all of a sudden you're seen more often. You're seen as more active. You're seen as more credible. And that's the whole key. So a back-end way of building relationships. People don't buy from anybody that they don't trust and they know and they like. So if you can just keep sending them stuff, keep giving them information, keep giving them maybe coupons, maybe discounts, or advice on helping them in their own business, they're going to look at you as somebody who's credible, who's transparent, and authentic. And those are the type of people you want to do business with. So it all begins with a book. You go on media, you start to promote yourself, you get people to know who you are, what you know a lot about, and what you care about. Get to build that bridge of trust. And then another way of just keep building a relationship, which could take weeks, months, years. Truth be told, I've been following Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, and Gary Vaynerchuk for approximately 3 years now. Okay? I've not given them $1. Not $1 has come out of my pocket and gone to them. However, I look at them as true, credible experts in their field. They've been successful. They all have different paths. I relate to Cardone more than any other of them. But I've never given them $1. Now, why is that? It's not because I don't trust them. It's because what I see what they're doing, I try on my own and I do a couple different things. What all they have? What do they have? A book? That's what our service does. We help people write books. Okay? Promoting themselves. That takes a lot of work. This takes a lot of energy to put yourself out there, to hear what people have to say. 2 top lead generators, Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much. What's going on, Evan? Appreciate it, man. And so I'll try things on my own. I didn't jump right into ClickFunnels because I could build my own. I could do everything on my own. But there comes a point where it becomes easier to hire or to find that tool and just say, I'm going to pay you just to help me build it. I created Dreamstarters because I realized that not everybody has the time or the energy to sit down and write a book for 6 to 9 months or even a year. So I met with professional writers. We brought this whole program together where we interview you, hear your story, and within 3 hours, I hear everything. I know what you want to teach. I hear your story. We bring it to life in 30 days, turn it into a bestseller through our marketing channels. And after that is done, we show you how to connect the dots with social media, finding the right target audience. I only have about 6,800 followers on Instagram and then 60,000 under the business page. That generates most of my leads. And then on Facebook, I only have about 2,800 friends. And then with my businesses or with my business page and my group page, connect some dots and I'm able to get some leads from that. But what it does is just keeps me always in front of the camera, always in front of new people, trying to build relationships. How do I do that? Just keep putting myself out there. And the best way and the most honest way of doing that is getting all your thoughts out of your head, down on a piece of paper, turned into a book. Best selling with who? What works best for promoting a health coach? What about Twitter? Do you have a presence there? If not, why? I'm going to answer yours, Mike. Mikey Samanchek. I appreciate it, man. What about Twitter? Do you have a presence there? If not, why? What about getting someone to write a Wikipedia page for you? Yes, I've looked into Wikipedia pages. Number one, you need to have a lot of media sources. So Wikipedia page, you could get somebody to write one for you, but still to be accepted, I've looked into it, it's still like an approval process that not everybody can get accepted right away. One of my clients that I've worked with quite well, his name is Anthony Lawley. He's a real estate mogul developer out in New York City, which I'm actually going to his book signing on Wednesday. So if anybody's in New York City, I'll be there, Midtown, if you guys are familiar with that. So anyway, to get a Wikipedia page, it's actually a little bit of an approval process. It doesn't happen overnight. You still need to have a lot of credibility, credentials, but a lot of media exposure. And therefore, Wikipedia, I guess, can look into it and figure out if you're real or not. And then you're approved. So it takes a long time. But Twitter, I do have a presence on there. I'm not a big fan of it because it doesn't play to my strengths. My strengths are Instagram and Facebook because it's more of an image. You can do videos. You can do my techniques and strategy play to those towards 2 platforms. Now, the people who do well on Twitter, maybe that is your strong point. What I've realized is that there's so much noise on Twitter. It doesn't seem like it's growing as it once was. It seems like membership or people using it is dropping off. So I play towards trends. Instagram is really the #1 lead source for many entrepreneurs because of so many people getting on it. The attention span of a human being is about 8 seconds or less. Why is Instagram so popular? Because they could just fly through and look at pictures. They don't even have to do any reading. Motivational quotes do really well on Instagram, which was really my beginning of Instagram. But now I'm trying to put more of a personality to the page, which does take a lot more time, but it seems like that works the most for me. And since it's only me and a couple people still at Dreamstarters, I did not want to hire anybody who's a Twitter expert to help me out with that yet. Twitter's awesome for those people who are really good at it, but I believe, especially in your early stages, you play to your strengths, and my strengths, Instagram and Facebook. Good question though, man. What works best for promoting a health coach? Health coach is no different than any other type of coach, I don't think. You know, what you have to do is become the expert. Position yourself as the expert. How do you do that? Write a book. Become a best-selling author. Get speaking gigs. Promote yourself online. Make sure you're tagging every one of your pictures correctly. So if somebody Googled your name right now, what would pop up? Does your name even pop up any pictures of you on Google? Because I'll tell you exactly what happens. If somebody that you meet online that you don't know, what do you do first thing? What's everybody do first thing? They Google their name. They Google first all of it. Then they Google images, and then they Google video. Right? Well, if nothing's popping up, guess what? You're not an expert. If you are speaking at an event and you're talking about becoming this health coach and all that, where's your credentials? Do you have a diploma? Or do you have a degree? Do you have a trophy? What made you an expert? People only look at people who are experts and listen to them all the way. It's like getting attention. You have to establish a lot of trust with these people first before they're going to ever buy into everything you're saying. If you've won one of my clients is a professional bodybuilder, obviously I'm going to listen to this guy because he's number 15 in the world about eating, dieting. So these people who are coaches and trainers, what have they done? So you, the health coach, Michelle Robin, what exactly differentiates you from everybody else? What credibility, what expertise do you have that you can show everybody else? And if you don't have much yet, doesn't mean that it's not you shouldn't do it. You just have to do whatever you can to position yourself as the authoritative influencer figure. So, starting from scratch, I don't know what your Instagram, your Facebook looks like, or your YouTube, but you make it very simple. Michelle Robin, professional health coach of Los Angeles or of Dallas or whatever it is on your Instagram. And everything you do is all about educating people. Once you become the expert and the authoritative figure, what do? You give back of all your information. Yesterday I was on a phone call with a guy who's becoming, he's just starting out in building floors in Pennsylvania. He puts floors in for commercial buildings. He asked me how does he get credibility with these people who are building multi-million-dollar businesses if he hasn't done anything yet. Well, it doesn't matter where you start out. You just have to do the right things over and over and over and over. So if he just keeps putting YouTube videos out, Facebook videos out, Twitter images, posts, tweets, Instagram, all of a sudden you start to build a following. Now you use that on your resume. When you go and meet with somebody, I told him, if he goes through me, it's great. If he goes on his own, it's great. Write a book, meet with these multi-million-dollar moguls. Say, hey, this is a book of how to install floors or how to appreciate your building or how to get the most out of your commercial real estate. Here's a book. I do floors. This is what I've done. Take a look at all my social media. Because social media is sort of like the ultimate resume now, too. People look at, if there's no activity on your social media, it almost seems as if you're dead. So it's all about positioning yourself, number one, as the expert, but you're active also. Constantly active. People want to do business with people who are active and they care about it, and also the people who know more than others. Hope that helps, though. Yes, it's best-selling, Kyle. It's with Amazon. The reason why it's Amazon, there's a couple different bestseller lists out there. You know, you got the New York Times, you got the Los Angeles Times. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. Bestseller on any of these lists, on any one, New York Times, Los Angeles Times, are all subjective. Amazon, whatever. Doesn't matter. Now, New York Times is one of the most prestigious. It's very, 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 very difficult to get on that list if you're self-published. It can be done. It actually was done. But it's really tough. Now, what do I mean by subjective? The number one book in the world, and New York Times was sued over this, that sold the most copies, didn't make the top 10 list on New York Times. Now, New York Times is basically, they actually lost in court because they didn't let everybody else know that it's really up to them to define what is the best selling. And they can change that depending on their viewpoints, who they're working with, different publishers. Top 10 publishers, like Simon & Schuster, these people have a lot of clout and connections and rapport with New York Times bestsellers. That's why it's easier for them to make that top bestseller list. And this is basically all throughout the whole industry. So because if it's a bestseller, it means it's doing well. It just doesn't mean that it's the number one bestseller in the world or United States or anything like that. Because there's a lot of connections, there's a lot of different strategies that are involved with that higher up process. Now Amazon is just like all of these other ones. However, Jeff Bezos is pretty smart. He plays towards the entrepreneurs. He doesn't play towards the publishers as much. He still does. But the Amazon has so many different genres that it gives the entrepreneur a chance to basically position themselves correctly, promote themselves correctly, set urgency, set a certain pricing strategy to promote themselves in a limited time period to hit bestseller in different genres. And that's what we know the strategy. We know the buying cycles, the days of the week, the times that are people buying books and are not buying books. The ones that are a lot easier to rank in than compared to really difficult ones. And since we understand Amazon, that's what we use. We use Amazon. Sherry McCutcheon, what's going on? Appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions? So, to recap, how to generate most leads with media exposure. Book. Thank you very much, Lisa. The hook. Hey, go to this website / the subdomain. Very important. I don't think I covered it whenever I was talking about it, but the reason why that's so big is because you're able to see the numbers of people going to that link and what they're doing. So if you're seeing them go to the website, but they're not going through the entire quote-unquote funnel, then you know before you go in that next media blitz or go to that next podcast or FaceTime Live or whatever, you know to make some changes. And then you say to yourself, well, I'm not going to that event for the leads. I'm going there for the media content. I get way more leads, way more, if I stay at home and do FaceTime Lives or do YouTubes with people, or I get way more leads. And I guess what I'm trying to say is you know where your investment is worth its while. And you don't want to waste your time, energy, or money, or even travel dollars going somewhere if it's not generating the leads. Book, hook, back-end way to building relationships. Keep pushing stuff out there. Keep bridging that relationship. Keep giving. And also, once it comes time to, solving a problem of theirs, they're going to be on top of their mind. Because you're going to be on the top of their mind, because when they get to that point of, man, I got to do something with this. I really need a book. They're going to come to me, hopefully, because I'm constantly active. I'm constantly reaching out. I'm constantly showing them what they should do. So whenever they are ready, hopefully they come to me. And whether that guy I was talking to about floors, maybe when the time comes, hey, this guy, Kyle is really smart. He's really active. He's really putting himself out there. He wrote a damn book on it. It's a bestseller. He's really eager. He's hungry. He's driven. Let's give him the shot. Now I can talk for days about being given that shot, and then finally, showing people who you really are and getting the work done even faster and cheaper than they ever. But what it comes down to is to get that opportunity, and you really need to show that you're different than others. See if there's be a problem solver. Rich Zeitz, what's up, my man? New York City, I'll be there Tuesday night and Wednesday. So I'm going to let you know. I don't know what time I'm getting in, but I'll give you a text. Be a problem solver, for sure. Just stay on the top of people's minds that when the time comes for that problem to be solved, who is going to be the problem solver? And every business around, every which one, every person that you give money to, you don't realize it, but all they're doing is solving a problem for you. I went and got gas today. They're giving me home. I'm going out to, let's see here. I'm going to the gym right after this, so I already gave them my money. But they solved my problem because I have a place to go that's active, and I can go and stay fit for the beach. And you get it. So, I only go to the beach probably once every 5 years, so I don't even know why I say that. But I still say, stay fit for the beach. Alrighty, guys. Any questions about this? Any comments? Comment it below. Let me know. Go to dreamstartersuniversity.com. No, I'm not doing the hook because basically I want to find out only the hook when I go on doing different media exposure, different blitzes whenever I go in front of a lot of people. So dreamstartersuniversity.com, we can turn your idea into a book in 30 days or less, and then we can turn it into a bestseller and help you get off the ground and position yourself as the expert. Stay tuned, guys.